Western script, Eastern reality. This is the algorithm. Rewrite the rules. Everyone wants to be a gentleman. When your pockets are overflowing with dollars, when you have the luxury of controlling global resources, it's easy to be elegant. It's easy to preach about human rights, environmentalism, and the international order. It's a status symbol. But the 2026 physical audit has delivered a brutal truth. Being a gentleman is expensive, and it's a cost America can no longer afford to pay.
Look at this list. 66 organizations. The UNFCCC, the IPCC, the UN Population Fund, the Human Rights Council. Why did the US stay for so long? Because back then, we were the house. We had enough cash to buy this moral veil. Being the gentleman felt good. We got to lecture the world on universal values. We used green standards to strangle our competitors. But all of that only works as long as you're the one eating the steak. Now, the East's physical algorithms have backed the West into a corner. The factories are theirs. The resources are theirs. Even the logistics chains are sliding into their grip when your hegemony is on life support. Wearing an expensive suit isn't a sign of power. It's a liability. Trump's mass withdrawal isn't a retreat. It's a moment of honesty. He's telling the world, the act is over. Being a gentleman is too expensive. Now, I'm here to eat. The world is screaming about betrayal and broken promises. Promises? Can you eat a promise? When there's plenty to go around, everyone can sit at the table, sip coffee, and talk about saving the planet. But this is 2026. This is an atomic war for survival. If we stay in the climate convention, our heavy industry stays dead. If we stay in the Human Rights Council, we can't take the water and land we need from places like Colombia without a headache. The true face is what you see when the interests finally clash. Do you save your reputation, or do you save your blade? Trump chose the blade. By tearing up these 66 covenants, he's telling the East, the days of using your rules to lock me down are over. Since you've left us with no room to move, we're going to tear down the house and fight in the mud. This is the real America, a predator that no longer needs your applause, only your fear.
The age of the gentleman was buried under the cold data of 2026. When the mask falls, only the law of the jungle remains. Might doesn't make right. Might is the only thing left.
Many are asking, has America lost its mind? Withdrawing from the UNFCCC, Climate Convention, and the IPCC, Climate Science Panel. They say this is anti-intellectual. They say America is abandoning the future. Listen, that kind of thinking is the true mark of ignorance. On the screens of the Eastern algorithm, the climate politics of the last 30 years has been nothing but a carefully designed pixel game. The West thought they could use carbon emission quotas and green energy labels to lock down the East's industrialization. The result? The East used those 30 years to seize a total monopoly over the entire green supply chain, from the raw materials of solar panels to the refining of lithium batteries. It's all in their hands. If the US stays in these covenants, it's a death sentence. For every ton of carbon you cut, your industrial capacity withers. For every wind farm you build, you're just buying more components from the East. This isn't saving the planet. This is collective suicide. Trump's mass withdrawal is the revenge of the atom. He's tearing up the climate treaty to drag America out of this pixelated green trap. He wants raw, violent energy, coal, oil, shale gas. He doesn't need your approval for his carbon footprint anymore. He needs the chimneys of real factories to start smoking again. Once the mask is off, the truth is simple. When survival is on the line, the future of the planet is a luxury joke. America needs to take the water from Colombia and the energy from Venezuela to feed its starving war machine. If I can't beat you by the rules, I'll smash the board. That is the true face. The moment a gentleman realizes he's being strangled by the rules, he becomes a killer. Look at those 35 non-UN organizations on the list. The Economic and Regional Committees for Latin America, Africa, and Asia. Why wipe them all out at once? Because the US is preparing for a global physical formatting, and these organizations are the surveillance cameras of the legal world. In the past, when the US ran Plan Colombia, they still had to submit reports to these committees, proving they weren't violating human rights or disrupting regional economic balance. Those were the masks, the gentleman's loincloth. But in 2026, America has no time and no interest in writing those fake reports anymore. By withdrawing from these 66 organizations, Trump is triggering a global legal blackout. By pulling out, he no longer recognizes their right to investigate, monitor, or fine. He is turning Colombia into a private quarry, exempt from international law. He is turning Greenland into a military exclusion zone, where no outsiders are allowed. This is pre-war field clearing. He is cutting every wire that could trigger a legal lawsuit. You think he's escaping responsibility? No, he's securing criminal immunity. When the US is no longer a party to these covenants, anything it does in Colombia, whether it's seizing water supplies or physically severing logistics, becomes a legal strategic act under US law. The East used rules to back the West into a corner. The West's response wasn't to beg for mercy, it was to tear down the walls and turn the world into a massive, lawless zone. This is the true form behind the mask. A leviathan that no longer argues, only strikes. A monster ready to redefine global geography through raw force. 66 organizations, thousands of treaties, turned into scrap paper in a single night. Most people think this is the end of the world. But in the cold simulations of the Eastern algorithm, this is just a system reboot. The US thinks that by tearing off the mask and reclaiming the freedom of a thug, it can run wild in the world of atoms. It thinks it can seize the water in Colombia, the oil in Venezuela, and the minerals in Greenland without ever facing a legal consequence. But it forgot one thing. When you tear down the house, you might stop paying rent, but you also lose the protection of the roof.
When America abandoned the global rules, it spent 80 years building. It also sent its own credit backing to the crematorium. The Eastern algorithm has no intention of repairing these broken rules. They are doing something far more absolute. They are formatting the entire currency system. Since you've stopped being a gentleman, why should I keep honoring your pixelated IOUs? The moment the US walked out on those 66 organizations, the East completed its final audit. You take the physical resources? Fine. I'll block your financial interface. Your jets need fuel, and my factories need orders. But neither of us needs that scrap paper called the US dollar anymore. The end game of 2026 isn't about who wins or loses. It's about total physical segregation. A beast without a mask versus a cold, watching algorithm. They will engage in a primal struggle for every resource point on Earth, from Colombia to Greenland. This is the truth I'm trying to tell you. The gentleman is dead. The law is in a blackout. The only thing that can protect you is your awareness of this formatting.
Listen, the world has changed. This list of 66 is just the beginning. If you are still waiting for the international community to step in and provide justice, you are the next consumable to be harvested. In this era of the unmasked, information isn't for entertainment, it's for survival. I will continue to dismantle every detail of this 2026 great formatting for you. If you don't want to be left holding a handful of useless pixels when the physical world collapses, like this video and subscribe to this channel right now. Share this video. Tell everyone around you. America isn't pretending anymore. The gloves are off. Every share is a wake-up call to another soul still brainwashed by the old rules. The mask is off. Welcome to the real world of 2026. I'll see you at the next audit.